It's time to go on mission with Malone. Malone Roofing, Metal Walls, and Maintenance is one of the country's largest contractors, existing every day to improve our communities one job at a time. Get ready to go behind the scenes and hear from the people that make it happen for Malone, and meet the amazing people that Malone work with every day. Here's your host, Malone Marketing Director, Josh West.
Welcome in once again to the Meet Malone podcast as we continue with insurance specialist Mickey Garon. It's part 2 of our interview with Mickey, and Mickey goes all over the Southeast helping people with their insurance claims. He can help you, and that's why he's on the program, and that's why we want to catch up with him and finish that conversation. We talked about using your own contractor, making your own repairs where there wasn't further damage to your property. We also talked about having your contractor write an estimate, understanding what your deductible is, and just because you're saving premium, can you afford the deductible in the event of a loss? And so as we pick it up here with Mickey in this second part, Mickey, for whether it's a property owner, homeowner, whatever it is, there's a difference between your replacement value, your actual value, depreciation factors into that. Take people through that process so that they can better understand the lingo that they're getting in the event that that unfortunate situation arises.
Yeah, that's a great thing to understand. RCV, which means replacement cost value, and ACV, which means actual cost value. Most policies are written on an RCV basis. That means that once your damage has been assessed and you got your estimate and it's time for you to collect your money, they're going to send you a check. But they're going to hold out what they call depreciation, and that's based on the wear and tear of your roof. It may be 10%, 20%, whatever. But they're going to hold that money back. That's called depreciation. And that is recoverable. So once you receive your first check, and once the work is finalized, and there is a final bill, and you send it into insurance company, then they will send you the remaining depreciation. Okay, that's called replacement cost value. Basically what that means is that they will replace that roof like new as long as you do the work. Now, ACV, on the other hand, is actual cost value. That's a term that's used when you do have damage and you do get a partial check, for your damage, and there is a depreciation held out due to the wear and tear on your roof, but it is not collectible. And this RCV and ACV can get very confusing, but an agent can explain it to you. And it basically, an ACV policy is a whole lot cheaper than an RCV policy. But most people get a RCV policy to be sure they get paid the full amount that they need to replace their roof properly.
Talking to Mickey Garon, insurance specialist of Malone Roofing. And Mickey, you talked about RCV, ACV, depreciation. What about unforeseen damages? What about when you start the process, you've had somebody come out, look at your roof, you got that initial estimate, both sides came to an agreement, they start tearing off and they find more damage. Then what? What happens with the unforeseen?
Well, actually, this happens all the time because when you look at roof damage, you certainly can't, look at everything under the roof. And a lot of times when the roof is being demoed or taken off, say a shingle roof or a flat roof, for instance, and they find out that, there's some more water damage to the wood or whatever substrate you have underneath the roof because it's been a time lapse from when it happened to when actually someone was up there to repair your roof, that can be sent to your contractor, or that information can be sent in from your contractor to the insurance company and say, hey, we got some additional damage. And then that is called a supplement to the original damage claim. And the insurance company will pay that supplement as long as there's substantial proof from your contractor that it is damage caused from the hailstorm or windstorm or whatever, caused the damage to start with.
And we are wrapping up with Mickey Garon of Malone Roofing here on the podcast. We've hit all of our topics over 2 different podcasts. But in closing, there are so many great agents, so many great insurance companies out there. However, you don't want to assume that everything is going to be taken care of to a T. What do you mean by that? And what am I meaning by that when I say that? Because we don't want to assume that anybody's out to get you. That's not what we're saying, but roofing can be complicated. Insurance can be complicated. You should just, in most situations, you shouldn't assume. Why should you not assume when it comes to a claim after storm damage to your roof?
Well, if I had to give one main piece of advice, and that would be that you're exactly right. Don't assume that the insurance company is going to do the right thing. Now, that sounds malicious, but it's just a fact. Insurance companies sometimes leave things out, sometimes write a low estimate, and if you don't have someone representing you, like Malone or any other good contractor, that can be sure everything's pointed out, then you're going to fall short of what your policy says you're due. So just don't assume that the insurance company is going to do the right thing and pay the correct amount. Do your homework, find you a good contractor, one that you can trust, and let them handle as much of the necessary adjusting to get your roof paid for properly.
Well, Mickey, it's been a lot of fun to have you on the podcast for the first time of many times. Now, the next time you come back, we've got to talk a little less shop, a little bit more about the Mickey Man Blues Band, a little bit more about some fun stuff. How does that sound?
Well, that sounds good. I could talk about music all day long, but unfortunately, I don't make a living at it. I just have a lot of fun with it.
All right, that is Mickey Garon, our insurance specialist of Malone Roofing, and you'll be looking forward, I know, to hearing more about his music, more about what he does to stay busy away from roofing. Mickey, just one of the many great personalities here at Malone. Well, again, we appreciate you for tuning into the podcast. Join us each and every week as we go on mission with Malone.
You've been listening to On Mission with Malone, the podcast of Malone Roofing, Metal Walls, and Maintenance. For more information about Malone, go to ecmalone.com or call 1-833-7-MALONE. On Mission with Malone has been a production of Malone Media.